All right, you guys check this out. Now, at the end of this video, I've got a little something different. Hopefully, you guys will appreciate. But anyway, there was a paper that came out recently, and it talks about people that develop significant heart disease in the following situation. They were put on drugs to lower their LDL cholesterol down to essentially zero. That's right, zero, none, effectively zero LDL cholesterol. And many people will say, well, LDL cholesterol or perhaps ApoB cholesterol is the main driver of cardiovascular disease. You cannot have cardiovascular disease unless you have it. Now, this has been reduced to zero, effectively by these drugs. And yet the person still went on to develop significant heart disease. Now, how can that be? Why is that possible? Well, one theory is that there was something called lipoprotein(a), which is considered to be the residual risk factor in this person's case, and that lipoprotein(a) is actually more atherogenic or more likely to cause atherosclerosis than, say, things like LDL cholesterol. It is a very, very tiny particle. It's still considered an ApoB fragment, or still considered in the ApoB family. However, that may be the case, but it may not. But the other thing that they will probably never let people know, is that LP(a), this little fragment that's supposedly left over, what makes it go down? Well, currently they don't have any drugs that can move it down. There's one they're developing, which is a genetic drug, which they use something called a short interfering RNA drug. And what that means is they basically are monkeying with our DNA, RNA machinery again. So good luck with that. See how many people are who's going to volunteer for that, and what are the long-term consequences going to be? Who knows? But here's the really interesting part. Lipoprotein(a) is generally lowered by consuming more saturated fat. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do with that? Tell people to eat more saturated fat? You can't. You've already built your entire reputation on telling people to stop eating it. Now, for instance, they consider a lipoprotein(a) above 50, and I forget the units on here, maybe milligrams per deciliter, high, or 75, high, very worrisome, very problematic. I measured mine several years ago, and guess what mine was? 2, rock bottom, as low as it can possibly get. So, this is what we're seeing with the whole cholesterol hypothesis. It's starting to be fractionated, divided up. We're not sure really what's going on to the degree that we maybe thought we are. Some people are still sure. Some people say, oh, it's all about LDL cholesterol and that's all that matters. I would posit that that's perhaps not as straightforward as many people think it is. In fact, as I mentioned the other day, lean mass hyperresponder study will be published soon. Likely, I don't know for sure, I haven't seen results, but the signals I'm getting from the authors is that it's very likely to support their hypothesis, which is that in certain situations, that is to say, someone who's otherwise metabolically healthy and lean, which is indicative of metabolic health, the likelihood of LDL cholesterol or ApoB being a driver for cardiovascular disease goes way down to maybe it's not even important. That study, of course, will be met with a lot of resistance, as some of you guys are already seeing. Will it be published and talked about on every single news outlet? What do you guys think? Probably not. They're going to bury it. They don't want you to know about this stuff. So, but I will continue to spread the news and continue to ask questions, because when your clinical observations don't match the held beliefs, then you gotta reconsider if those beliefs are accurate or not. Final thing. So this is this is a funny thing. As a kid, I remember watching a show called Hee Haw. It was kind of a goofy country music variety type show. And there's a guy in there called by the name of Roy Clark, who is just one of the guys in the show I didn't know anything about. But this is a video of him demonstrating classical guitar on the old Odd Couple, Felix and Oscar, Felix Unger and Oscar the Grouch, whatever, Oscar Madison, I think was his name. Anyway, it's quite impressive, and I quite enjoyed it, so I thought I'd share it with you. I don't know if YouTube, maybe they'll flag it or something like that as copyrighted, but I'm going to share it anyway, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's just nice. So let me know what you think about all this stuff, and maybe you like the video. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.